Hi everyone, welcome back. I was putting together a new journal and I wanted something a little different. I wanted it to be pretty but utilitarian and I wanted something different. So there's been a resurgence in folios. I've noticed loads and loads of tutorials appearing over the last 6 months or so for folios. I remember making these way back when I used to do craft fairs. And I thought, ooh, yeah, that would be all right. Just to go in the middle, something a bit different. So this is what I came up with. This I've put in the middle of a signature. So it's all wobbly, hasn't been anything sewn together yet. And so I came up with a not too elaborate folio. If I can get that in the middle, you can see, we've got there's 4 waterfall cards there, a couple of big pockets, an envelope and a fabric pocket, another deep pocket on that one, and a really sort of big pocket on that one. And then I have used magnets on this, but I don't know if I'd do that again. A lace pocket there and not much on the back. Left that one plain. I think I was getting a bit carried away, shall we say. And then this is just a little one that I've done to go, again that's going in the centre. And when it's opened out, I've ripped up some graph paper to make a little notepad. So you got a nice big pocket that side, same that side. And I've actually used a book page to make a pocket there. So I thought it would be fun if I take these out, wherever they are, there we go, just to sort of show you how I do it, what I do, or what I've come up with. God, these are nothing new. I think I've still got a Tim Holtz one I bought, 3 years ago, something like that. So 2 different ones. Like I say, I've put them in the centres, but they could quite easily go, if I grab one of these signatures, I suppose they could go anywhere. Bear with me while I find a blank page. So if that's folded up, it could go anywhere. So that one's in the middle. But no, my initial thoughts are, I think I prefer it there, and then you get the full effect of it then. So you've got the 2 big pockets, because the papers I've used are coordinating, and this one is only 1/8 of an inch wide, so only takes up that much. This has got 2/8 hinges, I suppose they are. So you've got a good 1/4 of an inch in the middle there. Sorry, keep going off camera. It's sliding away from me. So you've still got that much. But then I don't add much else in the way of embellishments to my books, so I thought I could probably get away with that. Right, on to these. Now, I will put all the dimensions below that I've used. Apart from these cutouts, I tend to do these by just putting a piece of paper on and marking it and cutting it. Because I just like that, not that precise. Right, this one first. Just a very simple little folio. It just gives you some ideas. What I have done, this is Tim Holtz paper, and because I thought, it's a bit dark, so I've just this is Maya Gold that I've used through a stencil, just to brighten it up, I think. Now, I'm back in the UK here. Let me get rid of all these bits of papers. We have what they call A4 paper. So, for me, A4 is that size. So A4 It's roughly 8¼ by 11¾ and that's what I use in my books. I have done a size for 11 if you've got 11-inch width, and like I say, I'll put them all below. This is really simple. It's just 1, 2, 3 score lines and then decorate it how you will. So, getting in front of the camera. So the first one, let me find, right, I've scored it at 3. No, this is, sorry, I forgot to say, it's thin card because it's got to carry some weight. So for me, that's a 160 GSM. So I've scored it at 3, 7¾ and then an 1/8 further on, so 7 7/8, just to give me my, so this one, now this one, I can never seem, because it's only an 1/8, I can never quite get it to fold back on itself. So with the aid of my trusty ruler, that's how I do it. So there you have your basic shape. Now I need to, so there we go. If I just crease down there, making sure they all line up. Oh, believe me, I've done it before and ended up with cross lines everywhere. I never said I was good at this. I'll give anything a go though. So that's the basic shape, and that'll sit quite nicely in your seam to sew in, with a little bit of a gap on the top to give you some room for the, if you're anything like me, I end up sticking loads of things in the middle. Right, so for this one I used a notepad. I've got some graph paper and I just, feel free to cut it. This is just me, because my cutting thing is on the floor. And it's just sized to fit. So I do another 2 or 3 of those. What I did was, rather than stitch it to the card, is I've actually stitched the top of it to begin with. So I've stitched up there and then I've glued it. So I've glued that onto the back rather than stitch through the card. My sewing machine, yeah, it can get a bit temperamental if I try to do too much in the way of card to it. So that was that one. And then the pockets really are, take your pick. Now I have got tons of sheets. Now these are 8x8s and 6x6s. I just pulled some out a bit earlier thinking, oh right, okay, what can I do? How are they going to go together? So 8x8s, for me my paper's 8¼ so that's perfect for what I want. So for that size, no, I'm not going to use that size. So what I will do is mark it roughly. I like it a bit further down. So bear with me. Cut this. So that one will go in there. Now I really should have got all this together first. I'm a bit fussy. So I like to mark where my centre is. I know. OCD. So I've got a circle cutter. I know where my centre is. I have got a thumb notch thing somewhere, but it doesn't make them quite deep enough. And then that one will go in there. Now on my original one, I left this one blank. And then I put a pocket on that side. Now, entirely up to you. Same paper, different paper. So I've got... I suppose the beauty of all this Tim Holtz stuff, these are out of... I couldn't tell you which pads because they've all lost their backing now, is that they are quite tonal. So most pads that come in a pack will mix and match. Yeah. So I quite like that. I like to leave a decent gap so nothing interferes with that side. So if I mark that, I suppose what I should have done is cut it all out, but then you wouldn't have seen how quick they are, and you just thought, I know. Believe me, if you are very good at, well, not even very good, but just do this, you know. That's why my books always take me so long, because it's like, oh, that doesn't look right. Okay, so we've got those two. And then fold it over. And so for the front, I did wonder about putting in, thought that one might go. I am actually, like I say, involved in a swap. Oh, that one goes. These were gifted to me by Edwina. Edwina makes the most wonderful lace journals, fabric and lace journals. I have to admit, I was a bit awestruck when I had a look at them. Right, now I am going to use, I think those bits, maybe pull it over a bit. So I want it to go there and there. And I went round to see this lady, Edwina, wonderful lady, a real character. And she gave me this goodie bag when I was leaving, and it was like, wow. You know when you open something, you're like a kid in a sweet shop. And that's exactly how I felt when I opened this this bag. I will put a link to Edwina's channel underneath, so you can have a look at these wonderful fabric and lace journals that she makes. Like I say, I was like in awe of them. Right, so measuring, I want it to come to about there, and maybe there. the ends off. The easy way to do it would be to measure it, but then every time I measure something I get it wrong. And that can go on the front. I suppose what I could do, so being pedantic with a ruler, let's do that. So there we have do you know the amount of times that I've gone to put something in, or rather I have glued it in and then thought, oh no, I haven't gone around the edges. I watched a lady, deli girl, the lady's name is Cheryl, and she described distressing the edges as providing a frame, and yeah, she was so right. That's that one. And then these plain ones, like I've done in the other one, and I've just used stencils, like I say, Maya Golden stencils, and it just brightens the whole thing up. Oh, that's what I was saying about the swap. Sorry, I get sidetracked. I'm involved in a swap on one of the junk journal groups. I think it's a UK one, for pockets. So you can't do 3 pockets and some tags to fit in the journal. And I was wondering if I could get away with putting one of these in. I've got other pockets, and check it out. But I did wonder. Right, so if I do these ones first, get rid of all my rubbish. So my glue, because I do get asked this, art glitter glue. Comes in this, and then you buy these little little steel tips separately. And the stopper is the pin that you've just seen me pull out. Because I can get a bit heavy-handed with glue. No, I haven't put any fasteners on this thing. Simply because I don't think it needs it. But you feel free. I was messing around with some string on the one book, and I think that looks quite good, just sort of tied together. But ribbon, string, ribbon, twine, whatever fits what you're doing. Right, have I got that the right way? Yes. That one I want, I don't want that way. I want that way. There we go. And to be honest, even if you stuck it in the wrong way, I don't think it would make much of a difference. It would just be slightly altered to what you were thinking of it to begin with. My sponge is falling apart on me. I will have to go in and sort that out. Right, that one, because my book is going to go that way for my folio. Yep, that way. I think that's what I love about this junk journaling, is anything goes, really. Yep, definitely that way. I do doubt myself sometimes. And I'm in awe of the people that use double-sided tape for these things. God, you'd have pages hanging off everywhere around. And so that's just a very simple folio to go in the middle. I've lost. Sorry I haven't shown you this, but actually you could quite easily staple them in. Well, they're saying that then you'd spoil the back, so I do think they, for me, I like to glue them in. So that, and then that sits nicely down your sewn spine, with just a little bit of a gap at the top. Right, nice and quick and easy. So that was that one. And then this one is a bit more complicated, obviously. If I explain the basics, I am sorry if I sound like I'm teaching your grandma to suck eggs, but some people know and some people don't. So is that all it? Yep. So I've started off with one 10-inch. Well, I've actually made it so I wanted it smaller than my actual pages. So I've started off with a 10-inch piece, which I've scored down the middle to give me my first part. And then I've added on 2 pages or folds on that side to give me the base part. So I will go and cut all my bits up and then come back and show you what I've done. Right, I've been and cut. So if I move that one out of the way. So we have base sheet, which I've cut at 10 by the depth, so for me that's 8 1/4. And then I cut 2 side pieces, which are 5 1/4. I've done them by the depth. And I've cut 2 of those. And then for my waterfall, I've got however many you want it to be. Now I actually cut 4 by mistake, so I've got 4 there, which are cut at 4 by 4 1/2. And this one I've cut at 4 by 4 5/8, because the top one has just a little bit of a, if I open this up, you can see the 2 score lines. So it's got a bit of a top going on. Oh, there we go. So if you can see that. Yeah, it's got a bit of a, just to give it a, so if you do stick lots of things on there, then it's got a bit of depth to it and it will give, that's the way I look at it. Rightly or wrongly. Right, the other thing is, if you wanted to do, like a lot of folios have, the flip-ups, which you could put in. Depends how bulky you think you might get. So these I've cut at 4, because my width will be 5 for each side. So I've cut these at 4 3/4 by 5, which I'll score at 1/2 inch, and then they'll fold down to give me a bit of an overlap. So if we score everything, and then, oh, so I found it. So the base one, I'm going to put in half. It's 10 inches. So I'm going to score at 5. So that one will then fold. When you score, just remember to fold into the, so you've got the crease on the inside. So that's my base, the actual main bit of the card. Now 2 sides, I score at 1/2 inch. Oh, sorry, my hands are probably all over the place now. There's must be an easier way of doing it, but I'm not 100% sure. So I score at 1/2 inch and then 1/8 along, just to give you that bit of expansion in the middle. Where are we? There. Just to give you that bit there. So when you add all your stuff on the inside, it's going to give you just a bit of room to manoeuvre. So if you do that, both of them, you know, an easier way might be to go. No, I don't trust myself. So 1/2 inch and 1/8. I do apologise, my hands were all over it. And then this one is the top of the waterfall, so I've got, so if I take that up to 5, well actually I need it to finish at 4, so if I go at 4 and then 4 1/8, so that's my top piece. And then little bits that go under the rest of it, score at 4, 2, just make this one 4, 4 on that one. And then if you wanted the, like I was saying, the bits that fold up, right, so 4 3/4 is my width. So I need that. I'm just going to score a 1/2 inch because I find my stuff sticks better at 1/2 inch. Right, no, that's my width. So 4 1/2. So that's all those done. And then for assembly, woohoo! Right, trusty ruler. So, first one. Blimey, this brings back a few mini album days, I'll tell you. One. And then I figured out why I don't make mini albums anymore, because I just everything has to be spot on. And you know, when you look at something you think, no, that's a couple of mil out, don't like that, and you rip it out and start again, or I do. So, first one. No, I think I might have that the wrong way around. Second one. As I said, I know I'm not perfect at these. So it's actually starting to look wee-hee, something like. Now these ones I'm going to leave as is for the waterfall for the time being, for the moment. These ones can go in there. So, I haven't actually tried them with these little flip outs on. I do like rounded corners though. It's just personal preference. Where's my seam? There it is. And then those can fit on there if you want them on there. I would suggest not putting a pocket across the inside if you're going to put these on. Simply because it's there's no give in these and they'll bulk out. So if you were, I don't think, oh, I don't know, it might. No, I think that would, by the time you've got all your tags in the back, I don't think that would work. Don't know. So my own feeling is you would do these and not do a big pocket like those. I don't know. Let's give it a go. Let's see how we get on. Let's give it. No, I am sorry I'm doing this off camera. It's just that my sponge is falling apart on me and leaving all sorts of mess all over my paper. And until I go on Amazon and order some more, on account of we don't have any craft shops around here. Right, so that's that one. Let's just quickly do these. They really are quite fun to make, these. They're, I know you can use, I've seen, I think it's Andrea from Artie May's using like a makeup sponge or a wedge, I think it looked like. I know she did give a link in one of her videos for it. But being the creature of habit. Right, let's glue these on. So when I do, ignore the second one. So if we do this one first. Blimey, I can be heavy-handed with this glue. So I can see. Sorry, my head's going to get in the way for a moment. Up to the edge. And then if we push that back, there we go. So that's one. So just the fold line rather than the other thing. Actually, I should have done on the first one, which is very slightly tapered in. I don't need to take massive amounts off, but you can see on that one I've gone slightly over, which I can correct with my cutter, but if you don't have to, as I say. Oops. See, I do make mistakes. Okay, now I've just gone and made it a whole lot more difficult. That would have been so much easier if I hadn't have done that. Yeah, can you see the difference between where I've tapered that one in slightly and where I've forgotten that one? But that won't come off now. So, trim that bit off. Right, so there we have our main body of the folio. So that's how it will sit in a journal. Right, so if we were going to put these in, let's give it a go. I have no idea if this will work out with a big pocket in or not. Right, remembering to keep this bit. Oh dear me, one more life. Just you don't need much help, just enough, just in case, like me, you don't get it lined up properly. It helps hide. Now the idea is to try and get it fairly central, although that's more for my own personal satisfaction. This bit, actually, to make life easier, let's just wash that down. Now you know what my books are like. They are, because I bounce around all over the place when I'm making them. And why very often what will start off as one thing will then end up another. I actually want that to sort of line up. That might be useful. There we go. Now as that is, that'll fit quite happily in the centre of a journal or either page of a journal. I wouldn't suggest having more than one though. Oops. Waterfalls. I suppose what you could do, so mine's bouncing again, because to cover up all these seams that are here, and certainly what I used to do in folios when I used to make them before, was to put a middle piece in, and that will just finish that off nicely without showing all the edges. I wonder, I don't know, we'll give pockets a go in a moment and see what happens with that. Let's get these ones sorted first. Right, so we have the top piece. So that's the piece with the 2 score lines. To round corners, to not round corners. What do you think? Let's go for a full set. Now don't fold these. I will show you in a moment. Although I should imagine some people are looking at me going, no, Zoe, not that way. I have to say, I've done some tutorials and some people have come back to me and gone, why have you tried it this way? And it's like, oh yeah, it's brilliant. That's what's great about this. It is a real learning community. I know, I should have done this before I coloured the edges. Brain ache. One more. Right. Roughly where you want them to go. There's going to be a 1/2 inch gap. So they will sit like that. So we're, oh, I think that looks as good a place as any. So if I just put a little pencil mark in there, that's roughly where my top one's going to go. So, glue. Oops, my head's getting in the way, sorry. I want it. Oh no. Stop. It's alright, that'll be covered up. That's what I want to change. That's what's not right. I want a piece of paper. Where are we? Just to cover up that seam there. So let's make that about equal. Now I can see my score line down the centre. I know you probably can't, and I do apologise. Just give that. Every time I moan about having to distress, oh, it takes so long, oh, I don't want to do it. I think of that lady I watched who said it provides a framework, and I have to admit, it does look, yeah, I like that. Right, let's glue that one. Oh no, actually this does need, because this is going to hold down, this is going to be the base for the, getting that reasonably straight. Done. That's better. Right, start again. So top one with the 2 score lines. Well, too much glue. I think it was. Sorry, my head's going to get in the way, so I apologise beforehand. level. Number 1. Right, and then the rest of them should just butt up to your score line on the next one. So, it helps if you actually have some glue coming out. And then that fits, I hope. If I bring that down, does that follow? Yep. So there's the next one. And fold that one up. So just gives you a nice, neat finish. Right, I've gone too close to the score line with that glue. And that one just fits in there at the base. Bring your top one down, does it match up? Just it a little. Yep. Last one. I think I need to go and get my eyes checked. I'm running around with kids at opticians, both of whom, it turns out, need glasses. Unfortunately, the optician couldn't see us all at the same time. Joy. Right. Does that match? No, that needs to come over a little. There we are. So it's just lined up underneath there. And push that one against the, or use your ruler like I do. Against that top fold. Sorted. So that's looking pretty full. Okay, that's what we're going to try. Pockets. I dug out quite a few 6x6 paper pens. I've got a few. Mind you, I've got a load of these 8x8s as well, so it's trying to find something that I know I'm going to use. Let's go for 6x6. I don't know. Ooh, choices. Actually, that would make a cracking corner pocket there, wouldn't it? Ooh, maybe leave that one. Okay. Now these ones, before I get carried away, I've stenciled, but very easy to cut pieces to fit over the top if you want to. I think it might add too much bulk for the purposes of a journal, so I'd be inclined just to sort of stencil on those. Right, pockets. Yeah, I think that bottom one Right, I'm going to go and cut a couple of pieces of this to make a pocket, and I'll be right back. Well, after much deliberation and going through my paper pads, I've come up with some bits that I'm going to decorate these with. So these were taken, I'm going to give these pockets a go. So these were from a 6x6 pad, which I've cut to fit in there. So you've got a big one underneath, then that one. So that'll fit in there. And then the same pad, I actually cut a piece of 6x6 straight down the diagonal. So I've got a pocket to go there. Let's bring this over a bit. One to go in there. What have I got under that? And then I've got two which will go on the outside, so I close those up. I've got a pocket which I'm going to put there, and then I've got this one, which I'm not finding. That one will go in there. Now I'm an R, and normally you decorate these, but I'm not 100% sure about that, so I'm going to stick all these down and then we'll see just how bulky it gets. So this one first, nice deep pocket. Did I tell you it was very much make it up as you go along? So that's the first one. Oops, knocking me bits. I've cut the paper so they're about 1/4 of an inch shorter, so it gives me an 1/8 gap either side. That one goes over the top, although actually no, that's wrong. I want that to come slightly over the bottom so it sits much better. So it fits on the side and then just sits underneath at the bottom. Okay, so that's that one. And then this side. So that's that one, and then this top one. Sorry, I'm bouncing around all over the place. It's just sometimes. That's that one. So those are the two inside ones. And I got this one. Move that. That one goes in there. And then I want this one to go this way, because then if I have got something which sticks out, it won't matter, because it'll be up, facing up and out of the journal rather than catching on the folds. I hope that makes sense. So I make these videos, I go back, I edit them, and I'm like, really? Did I say that? Oh my gosh. Oops. Right, so if it squashes down a bit, don't panic, just push it back up. It's going to get a bit squished when it goes inside your folder, right? Now that's feeling quite bulky compared to this one with those 2 extra flip outs on it. Okay, pardon me, let's put this to the test. Stick a load of tags in it and see how we get on. These postcards were also gifted to me. Oh, look at these, from Edwina, and they are stunning. Right, I am, for the purposes of this demonstration, and no, right, these will be going in my, oh, that one's a bit too big. Okay. Edwina, you're wonderful. Those are gorgeous. Those are what there. Can make one of me boxes of bits. So let's put one in there. Oh, little fairies. One in there. Let's fold that down. What else have we got in here? That one. Oh, why can you never find something appropriate? Valentine's. No, don't think so. Blimey, I've picked up the wrong box. Never mind. Oh, here we go. That'll do. Right, I'm afraid it's going to have to be another one of those. Just to pop in there. Oh, okay, that actually doesn't feel too bad. So if I get my signature out, put it back in, it's fairly solid. It's not going to squash anywhere. That really doesn't feel too bad. Maybe that is the way forward. I might leave those 2 bits plain, bit of stenciling perhaps, just to break it up, but I think there's a load in here as it is. Right, so there we go. Folio insert for a journal. I'll link everything below, sizes, a link to Edwina's channel. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. I will speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye.